All right, so this is just going to show you and remind you some things that you've learned about coordinate planes. So a coordinate plane is a flat surface, that's kind of what plane means, with two perpendicular lines on it. And remember, perpendicular means that they cross one another and form 90-degree angles. So we can see this line here, crossing this line here, and it forms a 90-degree angle. And remember, a 90-degree angle means that it's kind of an L-shaped corner. So you can see that each of these little corners actually look like L's. This creates a quadrant or four sections. So you're going to see quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So each of these pieces create what is called a coordinate plane. Now in 5th grade, we actually only focus on quadrant 1, and the reason being is in quadrant 1, all the numbers are positive. You'll start seeing over here we start getting some negative numbers, and we don't really do a lot with negative numbers in the 5th grade, so that's something you'll approach more as you go into middle school. Okay, the axes. Both intersecting lines are called an axis. Axes is plural, like more than one. There are two axes on a coordinate plane. So the horizontal is called the x. And remember, horizontal means that it goes from side to side. So I can see here, this is the x-axis, okay? And then the vertical line is called the y-axis. Vertical means up and down. The origin, this is an important place on a coordinate plane, and it probably becomes one of the trickier points. The place where the two lines intersect is called the origin. Remember, intersect means they cross. The origin is written in numbers as 0, 0. So right here is the origin, and we write that in numbers as 0, 0. Ordered pairs or coordinates. An ordered pair or coordinate, either word is fine, is what you call the location of a point that is on a coordinate plane. The ordered pair is two numbers that tell first where a number is on the x-axis, and then second where a number is on the y-axis. We always put the location in parentheses. So every time I see an ordered pair or coordinates here, I'm actually talking about a location, a place on a coordinate plane. When we write them, like I said, we're going to put parentheses. They'll be separated with a comma. And then I always put where it is on the x-axis first, and then the y-axis. So for instance here's an example 2, 3, and I'm going to show you how that works. So I come over here, and you can see I've got my x-axis here, my y-axis here. I've crossed these other quadrants off because we don't use them in 5th grade. But I just would have this random point up here. So what you do, you literally just get out your fingers and guide them along the lines. But here, I start on the x, like I said. So you can see that that point is not on this first line. So I'm going to go here, and you can see the point is here. So that helps me know that, yes, indeed, the location of this point on the x line is a 2. So I write 2 right here. Then I come to the y, and you can see that that point is not on the 1. It's not on the 2. It is on the 3. So I put over here that it is at the 3, that its location is at 3 on the y-axis. So this is what the 2 and 3 mean. Its location is at 2 on the x-axis and 3 on the y-axis. So naming points on a coordinate plane. So the first thing you have to do if you have to name a point, and you guys will be asked to do this, there might just be a point there and you have to tell me its location, so you're going to have to write the ordered pair, is first you find the point. Pretty simple, right? So I have a point right here. And then you're going to locate its position on the x-axis. So I take this point and I can just run my finger down, and I can see that it's on 3. So I would say that its location on the x-axis is 3. Now let's check out the y. That's my next thing. I have to locate its position on the y-axis. So I go back to the point. I'm going to drag my finger back to the y-axis so I can see where it's at, and I can see that it's at 4 on the y-axis. So I'm going to put that next to it. So my ordered pair says that this point is at 3 and 4. And then, like I said, you name the point by using parentheses and numbers. So we put parentheses around our numbers, we separate them with a comma, and I have now just named a point on a coordinate plane. Now, occasionally you're going to be given a coordinate or an ordered pair, and you are going to have to actually put the point on the graph. So let's talk about what that would look like. So first off, you're going to read the coordinate pair, or the coordinate or the ordered pair. So here I can see that they would like me to put a point at 5 and 1. So first you locate your position on the x-axis. So I'm going to come here to the x-axis. Remember, that's the one that runs horizontal. And I'm going to find the number 5. So I see it's right there. Okay. And then I also would like to, and I'm going to mark that because usually I would use both fingers, but that's a little hard to show on my iPad. So I'm just going to highlight that little 5 there. That's where I'm going to be at on my x-axis. And then I'm going to locate my position on the y-axis. So I'm supposed to be at 1 on the y-axis, and I can see that position right there. Now what I would do is I would actually run my fingers, one starting at the y-axis, one starting at the x-axis. I would run them together until I found my spot. So I'd run this one up and this finger to the side, and I'd see where they meet. And where they meet, it's right here. Kind of hard to get it on there, just perfect. So that is where the ordered pair 5, 1 would go, and that's how I would plot a point on a coordinate plane. I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about what a coordinate plane is, some of the vocabulary that goes along with it, and how to plot a point or give the name, the location of a particular point.